huge operation in Houston as 422 illegal immigrants are arrested by ICE. Also, deportation flights are on the rise. Let's check it out. Here we go.
If you're in this country illegally and engaging in criminal activity, we're coming for you.
Oh, that's ICE's Houston field office director with that warning for criminal immigrants. Meanwhile, Fox News getting an exclusive look inside a recent week-long operation in Houston. ICE agents arresting more than 400, including several with shocking criminal records. And Brooke Taylor's got that story. She's live in Houston. Take us through it, Brooke. What happened?
Hi, Bill. Yeah, we joined ICE for this exclusive operation that lasted a week. They took 422 illegal migrants off the streets here in Houston. The majority either are criminal convictions or they have pending criminal convictions. So everything from murder, aggravated assault to sexual assault of a child.
He did 21 plus years for murder in Colombia. He was involved in a lot of organized crime in Colombia.
ICE officers pull up and arrest this illegal migrant who, according to ICE, is a convicted murderer from Colombia. He was caught by Border Patrol last year, then released under the Biden administration's catch and release policies. And watch this, a twice deported illegal migrant from Mexico. He tried to flee in his car, then make a run for it before he was captured and eventually arrested there. According to ICE, he has multiple convictions in the U.S. while he was here illegally, including arson, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and DWI.
Man,
this is a week-long operation where we really flood the zone with additional resources from all these agencies and come together to try and make the biggest impact and get as many of these folks off the streets as we possibly can.
More than 200 of the illegal migrants arrested had final orders of removal, including this 36-year-old criminal migrant from El Salvador. So ICE is speeding up that removal process. This is all new here. Fox got an exclusive look at 80 detainees boarding this plane to the El Paso hub. So instead of bringing them to these detention centers that are taking up limited space, illegal migrants with...
Before we finish this, I want to tell you, I also have a story for you about 5 TDA members in Mexico getting struck by bullets.
Final orders of removal. They're being transferred to these hub locations immediately, so then they could be quickly deported to their home countries.
We can arrest the individual this morning, process him this afternoon, and have him on a removal flight this evening, same day, saving taxpayer cost and just making it more efficient and expedited process to get these folks out of the country.
And meanwhile, at the southern border, numbers continue to stay just drastically low. CBP releasing their monthly report. And according to those numbers, right now, apprehensions at the southern border, 90% lower right now than compared to this time last year.
Okay, watching that by the day, really. Brooke Taylor, thank you, live in Houston there.
Hey, everyone.
Incredible stuff. So I want to show you this from Texas Scorecard right here. Let's take a look at this. We break down the people taken into custody. Of the 422 taken into custody, ICE reported that 262 have prior criminal convictions, 34 have pending charges, 126 face other immigration violations, and 229 have final orders of removal. The crackdown is part of a broader federal effort focused on deporting illegal aliens with criminal histories. Earlier this year, a similar operation in Houston led to 646 arrests, including 543 illegals with criminal convictions and 7 known gang members. So you add the 646 plus 422, that's 1,068 right there. And deportations are ramping up. I do have more stories for you on separate videos of other operations going on throughout the country. But let's talk about these deportations ramping up. Here's a video from News Nation with the story for you.
President Trump ordering the Department of Homeland Security to increase the number of ICE officers by 20,000 as he ramps up his administration's deportation flight efforts. The planes taking off quietly and rapidly. ICE air flights are back on to Mexico and beyond as the Trump White House pushes full steam ahead on mass deportations. News Nation's Jorge Ventura joins us live from San Antonio. So, Jorge, what can you tell us now about this spike in deportation flights?
Well, Kelly, sources within DHS confirming to News Nation that ICE air deportation flights, at least 9 were scheduled this week to Mexico. That's up from the average of just 1 flight per week. Now, this comes as the Trump administration is seeking to ramp up those deportation numbers. Now, ICE air deportation flights have already deported over 142,000 migrants this year. That also includes 38,000 Mexican nationals, marking a major escalation in the administration's effort to move quickly and quietly. But it's not just Mexico. Political advisor Stephen Miller says that ICE is now flying deportees to far-off destinations, including Iraq, Yemen, and Haiti. Take a listen.
So ICE sends planes to every country in the world. We send planes to Iraq, we send planes to Yemen, we send planes to Haiti.
Stephen Miller is just fantastic, isn't he? This guy doesn't put up with any nonsense from the media. He tells it to them straight, and he's getting the job done on enforcing immigration law, getting violent criminals out of the country. Now, who would you take, Tom Homan or Stephen Miller? Who is the better cabinet pick? Who's the better, person that Trump has hired in his administration? Good question. I'll let you be the judge of that.
We send planes to Angola. I mean, ICE is sending planes all over the world all the time. Anyone who came here illegally, we're finding them and we're getting them out.
Meanwhile, Mexico is struggling to manage the Mexican nationals deportees. Only about a third of deported Mexicans are checking into the 10 government-run welcome centers near the southern border. Most don't stay overnight, and many refuse help altogether. Mexican officials admit they can't force anyone to stay at the welcome centers. Some migrants take supplies and vanish, while others are flown deeper into Mexico out of reach of support services. Now, the final departure across the border is only part of the plan. Inside the U.S., the Trump administration is now shifting resources towards finding and deporting those who already made it in.
Now that we have achieved the mission of sealing the border, you're going to see more and more resources and priorities put into the mass deportation program. And so on a day-to-day basis, you're going to see exponentially larger numbers of illegal aliens being arrested and removed from the interior.
Now, Trump officials say this is just the beginning of what could be the largest immigration enforcement surge in U.S. modern history, Kelly.
All right. And Jorge, what more are you learning now about how ICE decides where to send migrants?
Okay, that's a great question. That's one that even Stephen Miller is leaving open. Now, Miller has stated that migrants are being deported, quote, to all over the world. Now, right now, there's no clear data that every deportee is being sent back to their country of origin. Now, what we're seeing when it comes to the high-risk individuals or alleged gang members, like in the case of Venezuelan nationals alleged to be Trinidad with gang members being deported not to Venezuela, but straight to El Salvador, to its maximum security prison, Sicot, is that migrants are now being deported to now just their country of origin, but this is also a security strategy from the Trump administration. ICE is currently coordinating with dozens of governments across multiple continents. So officials say we could see even more of these flights in the coming weeks, Kelly.
All right, Jorge Ventura live for us. Jorge, thank you.
Thank you for
doing fantastic work in keeping this country safe. Like I said, there are a lot of operations going on around the country. I know there are people who are upset. Oh, it's not happening fast enough, but give them time. They got off to a solid start, and then they kind of plateaued, but now it looks like they're ramping up as Trump is putting more pressure on them to get things done and get people out of the country faster. And they also need the proper funding as well. So they're still operating under that Biden budget. But let's check out 5 suspected Tren de Aragua members, blasted inside a Mexico City bar. Hey, excuse me. A group of gunmen fired into a crowded bar, hitting 5 Venezuelan migrants suspected of being members of the Tren de Aragua gang. 2 of the TDA members died during the attack, while 3 others sustained injuries. The attack occurred on Monday night in the Foro Santa Maria bar in Mexico City's, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, something borough. The gunman, who remained at large, went into the bar, fired over 24 rounds at the table where the 5 victims were seated, and then fled. The victims included 3 men and 2 women. By the time the paramedics arrived, 2 men had died from their injuries. Wow. Yeah, this was from a cartel group in Mexico. I mean, look, I can't say I'm upset about this. The trash took out the trash here. That's all I'm going to say. But the world is a better place. And I will leave it right there. Yeah, you like and subscribe to this channel. Hope you like this video. Share this with your friends, your family members. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Take care.